All right, welcome everybody. Great news. My new book is out. I'm really excited. It's available on Amazon, so I have it right here on my screen on my phone. That's the new book right here. That's the cover. It's actually going to be available on Kindle ebook version in a couple weeks, so it takes about a week to 2 weeks before everything is completed with the Amazon upgrades and updates to the book, but it did come out today, early this morning, on print version, so you can get a printed copy, a beautiful book of methods for success, watercolor methods for success, and I'm really happy to be making this available today. And anytime if you go into Amazon and you type in my name, Chris Petri, and you just type in book, you'll see the book right there. It pops right up on the screen. And this is actually my order that I placed this morning. So I ordered like 2 or 3 books for myself. And it's really awesome. I give a huge shout out to Leanne Procanon. She actually did all of the layout, design, and editing for my book, as well as did the Amazon launch for me. So she really took the project on, and we worked together, and it came out really fantastic. So I'm excited for everybody. I hope you're going to get this book and enjoy it. There's just, it's chock full of great paintings, so you'll have tons of subject matter to work from. And that's how I kind of created this book, with the idea of, maybe I'll zoom back in just a few minutes. So I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break, and I'll come back and I'll just open up the book a little bit so you can kind of see the interior and the some of the beautiful paintings we have in there. And we'll actually do a painting. We'll create one. We'll use one of our photographs in the book for some subject matter today, and we'll do a beautiful flower painting, a vase and flowers. I found one I think I like in the book here that we could do. So let's do that. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll have a normal setup with our palette, and we'll get started. All right, everyone. Chris Petri again here. We just took a quick break and we're coming back. And I just I'm really super excited. You get to see my book for the first time. This is just available now on Amazon for a print version of my book. Watercolor methods for success. And we'll just take a quick look. You know, beautiful. I really pride myself on, I just put in tons, chock full of pictures and paintings in this book. So you just have tons of paintings you can work from and paint continuously over and over again, perfecting your techniques using my paintings in this book. Again, just oodles of paintings. So this is just the first page, the cover page, or the actual first page over here. And then, you know, we have the different chapters. So I'm not going to get a detail, you know, this is something I know many of you that really enjoy my painting here on YouTube. You're going to pick up the book, or you're going to pick up that ebook format, the Kindle ebook version. That'll be available in a couple weeks. So some of you are going to probably wait until it's available on ebook. It takes a couple weeks. Again, Amazon's doing they've got the book now, printed version ready to go. You can order it right now this second. And then actually in a couple weeks time, they'll probably have the ebook version out, which means you can download it to your laptop, your home computer, your cell phone, your iPads. So you can really have a great time. Whether you get the printed copy or you get the ebook copy, you're going to just be thrilled. I cover all my materials that I use, all my tools, supplies in depth. I give you all the brands of everything, so this way you can have all the detailed art tools that I use and supplies. You'll have that all. I explain it all. It's all printed, and so you can just type it into the internet, or you can head out to the store when you're going to buy some new material, some new art supplies, and you'll have all that information. I go over my palettes in detail, all the colors I use, the palettes I use. You'll see all of that. So I cover a lot of the really nuts and bolts details of what I do on YouTube, so that you'll just have all the information at your fingertips, whether you get the printed book or if you get the ebook version, the Kindle version on Amazon. And it's exclusively on Amazon, I should say, so it's not really available anywhere else. And you can just see it's just, we cover all kinds of things, still life. So, it's just, you're going to really enjoy this. You'll have tons and tons of artwork to enjoy and paint from and work from. You can take this book and just paint to your heart's content. I do a lot of flower paintings in this book, so you'll see that. And landscapes and street scenes and farm scenes. We do figure painting toward the end of the book, figures and portraits and beach scenes. And some of these paintings you're going to recognize. I used some of the paintings from my YouTube tutorials that I created. So we're actually going to do this one now. Let's create a beautiful painting right from the book. So what I'm going to do is take the book here. I'm just going to move it over to the side, and we'll paint this beautiful flower here, flower arrangement here in this vase. So we'll take another break quick. We'll get prepped. I'll get my palette spritzed up with some water, and we'll get started. Okay, so I'll be right back. We'll have the regular setup all ready to go once we come back in just a minute. Okay, here we go. We're going to actually create a beautiful flower painting here right from the book. So I took a picture, a photograph of the printed book version and put that onto my cell phone here. So I have that. This would work awesome with an iPad. You could set an iPad up or a cell phone on a stand right across from your art table like that, and you can work right from your electronic devices. A lot of fantastic artists work that way nowadays. It's just really the practical way to do things. You have your just endless amounts of subject matter when you're perusing through the internet and all of that, and as well as any kind of ebooks that you might enjoy. So I'm hoping you'll also pick up my book on ebook format. And let's get started. So I'm going to just take my time here and take a look overall at the painting, and I'll do a quick contour drawing. Well, actually, let's do the preliminary sketch first. So the preliminary sketch, as we always say, is kind of like your super light sketch, just to get all of your information that you want to have in your painting laid out onto your watercolor paper in the proper locations, and making sure that you're not maybe making the subject matter too crowded in the middle of your paper, or making it too large that some of it's going off your paper and off your rectangle that we have here. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of get a just a quick outline. I'm hoping you can kind of see that. I'll do it a little darker maybe, just so you kind of see how I'm approaching this here. And then some of the things that might be, like if the leaves or flowers are darker in color, you can draw the pencil lines a little darker. I'm just drawing these pencil lines darker so you can see them and see how I approach this. So I'm doing the preliminary sketch first, sticking to my game plan. Sometimes I have to move my light around a little bit to get so that I can see my my electronic device here correctly. So I'm kind of looking at this here, and then there's a photograph over here on the wall, or a painting over here on the wall, and then there's that's actually the painting. There's a painting on the wall like so, like that. And then we have some more leaf forms here. Then we have the vase. Like this. It's got a little bit of a radius to it at the bottom. And then we'll go up like this. And then there is, this could be a water pitcher, which seconds for a vase. Beautiful vase here. So we're going to put the handle on like that. And what else? We have some more leaves over here. And again, I'm just getting that general feel for the overall silhouette of the subject matter. This vase of flowers. And then I think that's good. We'll do another drawing over the top of this, our contour drawing. So what's really nice about the preliminary sketch, you kind of get everything all in the spots you want to. Now I can even go in and get some of the interior flowers here and try to get some of those in. I'm just going to have fun and not really get too worried about every detail on things. Just, there's some smaller flowers there. And then there's more stems. So there's some stems of the flowers flowing down into the top of the vase. And there's, of course, leaf forms at the vase opening. And I think this looks pretty good. There's some more. Okay, I think that's plenty. So now maybe we'll do the cup over here. So we have a coffee cup over here. So let's take a look. Where's that table? The bottom of the table is about here, just a little bit above the bottom of the vase. We have the bottom of the table. So we want to get that in, make sure we have that. And then we'll have a coffee cup over here, like so. Like that. And then we have maybe a small pitcher here, like this. And then the shadows are this way. So the light's coming from this direction. So that's a perfect time we can take a magic marker. I like to use a Sharpie marker because they're really, and we just do a light spotlight. Good, perfect. We got it. We should always do that. Try to get a little bit of that light insignia on your drawing and painting. And then this way, when you start painting, you'll kind of refer to it quickly once in a while and glance at it just so you keep your shadows in the right spots. And that should be good there. And we'll move our drawing back in the picture frame here. Okay, so we're at about 6-7 minutes. We took a lot of concentration to get this much drawing done, preliminary sketch. Next, we're going to go over with a darker pencil line. So I'm going to do a contour drawing over this. And again, we always talk about the contour drawing is really fun because you're just going to go over the top of your preliminary sketch. So in essence, you already have like a roadmap of where everything's going to go. So you're just going to basically go over with a darker pencil line. Some of you may not want to go over with a second pencil line. You might find that your preliminary sketch is good enough and you'll work from that. So it's up to you. You're the artist. You can decide, there's no real set rules with art, as you know, as with watercolor or painting or oil painting or any kind of art. You have the freedom to kind of custom tailor your artwork to suit yourself. So maybe you only want to do a light preliminary sketch and then you go right in and start painting. That's fine. Some of you might want to do the preliminary sketch and the contour drawing. That's what I do, and that's what I suggest. Most times I do both preliminary sketch and contour drawing. So it's up to you. And we'll get started with the contour drawing in just a second. I'll just take a quick break and relax for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll get started again. All right, here we go. We're doing the contour drawing now. And we're going to get our shadows in here too. Let's do that. Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to start right here in the center of the flower arrangement here, and I'm just going to go up and start getting in those flower stems. And I think what I like to do is kind of keep myself centrally located with my pencil contour drawing, like so. Like that. And this way I can kind of just keep looking at everything and see how everything is flowing. And okay, and this is going to be fun and free style. So don't worry if you do a little improvisation when you're creating your flowers. Always try to remember that. I always suggest this to any watercolor artist. You know, feel free to improvise when you're doing your artwork to some degree. That amount of improvisation is up to you, but don't. I would say it's sometimes if you're improvising just a little bit here and there, your painting and drawing will come out a little more freer and relaxed looking, versus if you're trying to painstakingly get every detail and go real slow, you lose some of that like free-flowing properties of art and drawing, and of course subsequently painting. So you can kind of see I really did move pretty quickly through this with both the contour drawing and the preliminary sketch. And I hope you'll, try to work, at a good pace when you're doing your artwork and not take too much time. You can go a little slower, a little faster. It's up to you. Again, you're the artist. You have to decide how quickly you work. I would say that's good. Looks good. Good. All right, so now we're ready to paint. Let's give our paints one more spritz. We're using the Oval 16 Prang Oval 16 set. This is the Extreme Beginner set. So, and even if you're a pro and been working a lot with watercolors, this is a fun set you can have all the time in your studio or in your backpack, or if you go out, your briefcase, if you go out and do a little bit of outdoor painting, whatever, or if you just want to have something around the house that you can just pick up and do like a quick painting. This is really like, all you have to do is really open up your palette, literally spritz it with water, and then you're ready to paint. And then you can close your palette up when you're done. It dries naturally, so you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to do any special handling with it. And then the next time you're ready to paint, maybe a week or a couple days later, you just do the same process. You open it up, you spritz the paints a little bit, and they just work beautifully. Lots of gorgeous colors in this. It's fun just to do, fun style paintings and compositions. And then maybe if you're going to be, it might be just good to have for fun, but if you're just beginning, then it's the great palette to have if you're just starting out with watercolor. And if you're brand new to watercolor, I thank you for coming by, and I really am excited you're coming by my channel here on YouTube to paint and draw and paint along with us, and you're just going to have a fun time learning watercolor. And it's just an easy step-by-step approach. We just go each week and do different style paintings, but we're always using the same methods and techniques over and over and over again, so that those become ingrained in your thinking as an artist, as a watercolor artist. And this way, it's just like you learn techniques with anything you might do with cooking, or with maybe whatever line of work you're in. You learn a basic set of things you do, like procedures, methods, techniques, processes. Same thing with watercolor painting. We just cover this basic methods and the basic techniques and methods on a continuous basis here on my channel. And then you'll just automatically work in that style as you practice more and more. And you subscribe and you keep coming back week after week. So there's the subscribe button right on the right-hand side below. If you subscribe, and then you'll be alerted when new videos come out, and you jump in and work a little bit every time a new video comes out. Even if it's something you don't necessarily like to paint, don't worry about it. Just work a little bit on it. Maybe do a little small section, or maybe you just watch the video and you don't necessarily have to paint it or draw it or, work on it intensely. But if you are watching and listening and following along, you definitely will pick up a lot of great information. And the same thing with my book. My new book has tons of great information, tons of beautiful paintings in there. So I'm just excited about my new book, and I'm hoping you're going to pick that up on Amazon soon. And let's get started with our painting. So I'm going to I might use my Raphael brush here. So I'm going to use my Raphael number 6. Looks to be a good size painting brush. So if I can kind of look around the painting with my brush and kind of see the brush is kind of proportionate to the subject matter. Like it's as big as the flowers and petals and leaf forms and the cup. And So this is a perfect brush size for this. So let's get started. I'm just going to move along quickly. First thing I'll do is I'm going to start in the middle of the painting. And I'm going to notice right away we have some purple. Okay. And as I always say, I always have a tissue or a sponge. So when I rinse off my brush, I take a little bit of water off on a tissue or a sponge or my apron. And then I go back in and mix some more colors. And then here we'll do some blue, some green, blue and green there. And then some more green down here maybe. Maybe we'll put some green up here. We'll keep it close to the colors. So we'll put the green up here. Like that. I'm just getting some colors out onto the palette. Definitely some yellow here, I see, like that. And there's some red too. A little bit of red. And I think we can get started here. And again, I'm going to get started with the purple flowers. And I'll even go straight in, right into the paint. And then right away I noticed this brush doesn't have a good point. I must have wore off the points on this brush a while back, so I'm going to have to switch brushes, see if I can find a brush with a better point. Let's see if I have something. This is too big. This looks pretty good. I got a Kolinsky Da Vinci travel brush, and this looks good. It's got a good point. So this way I can get some decent points on the flowers here. Like that. Okay, and I like to do a little bit of splashing right away, just to loosen up and feel free as I go here. And some green leaf forms there. And we can also add some brown to our green, just to give it an olive green kind of feel. And then I'll get a stem or two in there, like so. And this is the shade, the shadow side of the bouquet of flowers. So you're going to see a little more shadow over here. Okay, now I'll get a little more green. This is more of this is the light side of the bouquet where the light is shining this way. So this is maybe a little more. And I'll just go straight into some yellow there, like that. I'll do another stem. Then I'll get some more olive green and some of this green. And what I'll do is I'll paint around these flower shapes there. And I'll mix in a little bit of and I'll just try to get a little bit of a shadow and light effect there. So then I rinse off my brush, dry off the extra water on the brush, and then I'll try to maybe just have a little bit of light on this side of that leaf form there. And then some more purple. And again, you're just having some fun here with the flower shapes. I'm not going to, be too critical about things. Just have fun, get some flower shapes in, have a good time of it. A little bit of splashing as we go. We can add in a little bit of bluish purple there. And let's see, some more green with brown again to make a nice olive green. That always looks good, a beautiful olive green. Like that. Maybe we'll do an olive green over here like so. For that flower shape, for that petal of, actually that's a leaf form. And we'll see what else we have here. We have some more stems there. And another really important part of this is let's make sure we leave some white paper in the interior of those flowers. Can you see how I'm leaving white paper in there? That's really crucial. If you can do that, leave some white paper and not fill it all in with flowers, you'll notice that it looks really good. So I'm really trying to be careful and be mindful of my my painting here of these flowers, and I'm going to make a yellowish orange there like that. And do a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow like that. So we have and then I'll do a little bit of paint around this flower like so. Like that. Then we're going to do some more purple, maybe purple with maybe a little bit of brown in there, just to kind of gray it down a little bit. Up here, maybe just to add a little bit of like that. And already I think it's looking good. And then if you feel you might have painted over something that doesn't look great, take a piece of tissue, blot it up quick. You can always go back in later and fill in a few more details to things. And then I will add some of this blue, which is like a cerulean blue. I'm going to try to add it in a little bit everywhere here, because I want to use it in the background color, and it'll look kind of strange if I just have it in the background color and I haven't added it to my flower area here in the vase. So that's why I'm going in now and trying to just add a little bit in here and there. Kind of, just try to get a little bit of that blue in there. And then that's fine. Then I can take some here and I can do a little bit of background color like that. I think that looks good. Okay, so we're really coming along nicely here. We have some really good leaf forms here and there. We have nice, beautiful flower shapes like that. There we go. think that's good. I think I'm going to let that be as it is right now. I think it's looking okay. And let's move to the vase. Let's take some purple. I'm going to make sure I kind of stay on this side of the vase with the shadow color. Rinse my brush, dry off a little bit of the water, and then maybe just smooth it out a little bit here so that it sort of gives us that light on this side of the vase. A little bit of gold in there too. Let's go right in and get more shadow color, and let's just use some of that purple and brown to get our vase here, the shadow. And then I rinse off the brush, and then okay, so sometimes there's some light effects that happen in a painting, so I'm going to let that. Again, I'll do the same thing over here. I'm going to take this. Maybe I'll do a little bit of reddish color there. And purple. And we'll do the same thing. I'll take some of that red too over here. And that's where we would, again, add some more colors, repeating colors. I'm going to add some red into the vase over here. The flower colors. Like that. Try to smooth that out a little bit. Blot up a little bit of paint if I have to, like that. Same thing here. Maybe I need to blot up a little bit of paint there, like that. Rinse off the brush. I'll need to change my water very soon. And we need more purple here. Purple. A little bit of brown mixed in with that purple. And again, we want to get our shadows in really at the same time we're painting our subject matter here. So I'm going to do this. Put some shadow over here. Green. Purple. Like this. And then right away, shadow goes in. Tie it together. Looks better that way, tying it together. And I think this is good. So for right now, I think everything looks fine. We'll come back and we'll kind of finish up with our background washes on the wall behind this vase. We'll put in that painting, and I think we'll be pretty good. I noticed just a couple splashes here and there to kind of keep things interesting looking. Okay, so I'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll finish up and we'll see how this turns out. I think you'll really be happy with this painting when you're working now with us here. We're all working together to get this gorgeous flower painting done. And it's kind of pretty much a really nice, simple design. Not too much information on this, just a couple of interesting, balances of a coffee cup and maybe like a small pitcher along with a large vase and flowers. And that's really all we need. And we can create this wonderful looking scene. And so we'll come right back and we'll finish up. All right, perfect. We're going to get in here again and finish up. So when we take breaks, it's a great thing. We can step back from the painting, look at it, and then sort of maybe take just a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, and think about what we're going to want to do when we come back in now to finish the painting. We've done a lot of work on it. We're like 90% complete. And then we always kind of think to ourselves, well, what else would I want to do here to kind of finish things up, not do too much, because we've already created a lot of beautiful washes on here. We don't want to go overboard and do too much. So when I stepped back and looked at everything, I kind of noticed a few things. So I'll just, one thing I thought I would do is take some green and some brown to make an olive green here, like this. This looked to me a little bit bright, that green there, so I wanted to kind of get that a little more toward the olive green kind of look, like that. And then I noticed over here too, this could be maybe a little bit of some greenery in there, just to have something in there. And then I think that looks good. I'm gonna do the painting over here. So what I'll do is I'm going to pretend that this is maybe a landscape type painting on the wall here, watercolor. So I'll just do some colors here, red and green, then maybe some blue for the sky up here on this painting, like that. I get some color on there, and then use the damp brush just to move some color around on there, like that. And that might be able to be good just the way that is. And then we'll take some more, maybe we'll take some of that gold color. So we'll make maybe like a goldish color, maybe a little brown in there, gold, orange maybe. Maybe like a yellow ochre a little bit, like that. Put a little bit of yellow ochre type of a color there. I'll do the same. I'll take some of that yellow ochre color and try to get that yellow ochre color around the painting. Just so that there's a feeling like we have other yellow ochre in the painting. It looks awkward if we were just to put a little bit of wash with yellow ochre on one spot of the painting. So even if you add it and then just blot up some of it, and still the painting will still have some of that feel of yellow ochre in it. And there's some yellow ochre up here, maybe too, where the light is up here. So I'll put a little bit of yellow ochre up here. I say yellow ochre because we kind of made a yellow ochre out of this bright lemon yellow with some orange and brown. So you can mix and match your colors and kind of blend colors that you like when you're painting from this palette we use here all the time on my channel. We work with the Prang Oval 16 palette, and we find that it's very versatile. You can mix a lot of colors with it. And I'm going to try to paint this handle over here on the vase. Just want to put some shadow on that. Looks good. And let's get a few more details. Let me do brown and orange, like this maybe, and we'll do a little bit of a shadow of the coffee cup on top there, like so, and the same thing with this picture. Maybe like this. We'll maybe do a highlight with some titanium white too. Maybe there's a little bit of a shadow under here too, so we could just add a little shadow color there. rinse off my brush, take some of the water off the brush, and then just smooth that out like so. I'll just smooth it over this way, like that. We could even take this line and maybe behind here, sort of make a line. Barely visible, but it kind of frames it out a little bit where the painting is. All right, that looks fine. Let's call this complete. Maybe a little bit of blue over here. And then again, we don't want to do too much that things become a problem. And then the last thing, I think, we'll do two more things. We'll use some titanium white for some light, some highlights, some light in the picture on some of these, maybe on the coffee cup in this picture here. And then I wanted to use the needlepoint brush to get a couple of details for the bouquet here. So I'm going to take my needlepoint brush and we'll put some blue and brown and green. Blue, just like a good, maybe a greenish, maybe some orange, like that. Some green, like that. And then I'll just do a couple quick, some stems. And this is what's fun about this. You can kind of give the painting a little more of a finished look with details like this. So you can kind of just hold the brush up real high like this and then just put on a few just indications of some fine stems and branches and things like this. Maybe a few in here, like this. Maybe another one there, like that. Maybe that one goes like that. And I think that looks good. Not too many, just a few. And then we'll do some highlights. So I'll take my needlepoint brush and just use that with a little bit of the orange and yellow. So a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow, kind of make like a yellow ochre brown. A little more yellow. That looks kind of like yellow ochre about right there. So you kind of mix it till you find that point where it looks kind of like a raw sienna or yellow ochre. And then I just put a little bit of that in the top of the tube of paint here. Just so the titanium white has a little bit of warmth to it, because titanium white tends to be really like straight white. And if you add a little bit of that yellow ochre color, it kind of warms it up a little bit and makes it look more like true highlights here. So I'm going to add a highlight across here like that, just a little bit. Same thing here. I'll get some of the white and just like that. And what that does is it kind of just it's able to just maybe capture a few lights. That you might like to do. And that looks perfect. Maybe I'll put a little bit of shadow on this handle here. Like that. Then add a little bit of that brownish color just to here and there, not on the whole shadow area, but just a little bit of the shadow area there, just to mix it up a little bit with some different color, shadow mix color. That. And we might need a little shadow mix in here too for this coffee cup there. Maybe I'll dampen this shadow over here just a little bit and see if I can lift up a little bit of that shadow on this side, inside that cup. That looks a little better. Maybe a little yellow ochre there. Like that. Makes it look a little more interesting. All right, so I'm not going to go too much more here. I don't want to over finish it. Let me see here. I think it's always good to get a little bit of the wall where the table is over here. And then I rinse the brush off and dry off a little bit of water. And then I just try to do that to just make a really somewhat of an exciting line going across here where the table and the wall intersect. And I think if we do that, a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of red maybe, a little bit of green, again we try to mix some of those colors in over here where the shadows are. I'll try to get in some green. So now's where I can just kind of sit back and relax and look at the painting and say, okay, what do I see that I can improve a little bit more, but I'm not going to really add much to it other than maybe a little bit of color. Like I'm going to add a little bit of green to the purple over here in the shadows. Like this, and that looks more like everything harmonizes better if I add that little bit of green in the shadow areas where the purple is. We have a lot of purple and green up here, so I think that works if we do it that way. And then the background color here looks good. A little bit of a splash there. I think that's good. That looks fine. All right, let's peel off the tape here. We'll see how it looks framed out. You're going to really notice once you peel off the tape, you see a really beautiful white border around your painting. It's just a really good way to go. This way you can put this on, pin it up on the wall, tape it up on the wall, on the refrigerator, and you have a nice white border around your painting. It just makes it look like a finished painting, actually. So that's why you'll see me always do this a lot with the tape. And there, that looks much better like that. All right, thanks so much for coming by and painting. We're going to be getting together soon, so we'll just see you in just a few days or so, and we'll be back to drawing and painting in watercolor, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, painting along with us, and also, too, thank you for taking a look at my book. And, again, it's on Amazon. You just have to really basically type in my name, Chris, C-H-R-A-S, P-E-T-R-I, and you type in book. So my name plus the word book on Amazon, and you'll see my new book. It's their printed version, and the new ebook version will be out soon. So within a couple weeks or so, you'll see the Kindle ebook version of my book. And you can have that too as well for your electronic devices, computers, laptops, cell phones, iPads. And see you soon, everyone. Thanks again for coming by and drawing and painting. Bye-bye.